Welcome back. Welcome back to the Cool Reviews. And today I'm doing a special catch up with a couple of brothers from the show. And one thing we're going to be talking about is why men are looked at differently when we have preferences, when we have a certain standard, or when we have certain opinions. It's always been looked at where women can say what they want, what they don't want, what they desire. And for the most part, men has always been able have been able to just have to sit back and take it. Never really speaking about what they want. When with the show and it's being such a big show at this point, a lot of people are really getting a chance to see what men really want, what men really look for in a woman, and honestly get to see men say no, we don't want that. So one of the people I got on stage, I'll let him introduce himself.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? I'm Hugh or Hubert from episode 22 of Pop the Balloon, but better known as Hugh from Hugh Knows Best, the podcast.
Okay. I appreciate you coming on, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna jump it off with one of the more recent ones.
hmm
All right. So is she someone that's your type?
Not really. Not really, to be honest.
Okay. And why not?
Um, the face is a bit wrinkly for me.
Hi, my name's Hodger. I'm 25 years old.
Okay. And why did you end up popping your balloon?
I know that we're honest on this show, but I do feel like there's a little bit of grace, or maybe just like um, some way where you can say things without being maybe incredibly specific about physical features.
I do want to add, though, I feel like it's probably good that you did pop because I feel like for me, I'm very forward, direct.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can be a bit too sincere,
I
sometimes too honest, but
Not gonna lie, I'm a super honest person too, and I think there's a big difference between honesty and comments like that. I think you could be honest without pinpointing maybe physical features about people, especially women. But I mean, if you're comfortable with that, then that's definitely okay. But I just wouldn't prefer that in a man myself. I always feel like in a society where maybe like things are normal, like this show, like saying things about somebody's physical feature, I think other people might feel comfortable. If you prioritize kindness, then that's still always gonna come first, and that's a first for me. So
All right. So is she someone that's your type?
So, what did you think about that interaction?
Because I know bro and I've talked to bro, I know it wasn't from a place of malice. Um, I think uh, he, he it was similar to me. Like when I got like I went viral for my comment about the bump. I didn't really want to say it, like because the show is set up kind of that to dig into what's your real reason, and so like when you're an honest person, it's kind of like, oh, okay, I want to say honestly, like be honest about it, but like I also don't want to get killed for like being too honest, and you could tell like he didn't want to overly honest about like, hey, this is a preference of mine that or this is something that I'm noticing that I'm not attracted to, and he was struggling with how to say that in a respectful way. Um, I think the girl dragged it, to be honest. Um, like people pop on people for way worse things and are way more disrespectful than what he was. He was just saying her face was his. He could have said like, "Hey, I don't like the aesthetic of your face," or like, I don't like the aesthetic here," right? Or I'm not physically attracted. But then people would be like, "Oh, you." Everybody's saying the same thing. You're not physically attracted. So like, it just gets into this thing. But I think the young lady was Aja or whatever her name was. She just she wanted to find a reason to pop, and she dragged it to me. Like it was just like it wasn't that deep, and he wasn't being mean. He could have been like, "You have an old lady face." That's mean. You know what I'm saying? That's not prioritizing kindness. He could have been like, "You look like your face is sagging." Like those things. That's me. But saying, "Hey, your face is kind of wrinkly," and like I can't, like he can't sit there and be like, "Do you have a condition or something?" Or like,
Yeah.
"What's going on?"
Okay.
And he can't ask that because that's not the world's business. But he's just like, I felt like he was just stuck, and so they came out.
Yeah, honestly, see, I'm a little bit different, man. I'm raw and uncut.
Hmm.
Uh, and so I mean, honestly, it looked like she got a muscle face. And I probably just would have asked, like, do you work out a lot? Are you a bodybuilder? You
Hmm.
know, your face looked muscular because I mean, honestly, she in the face, she do look like somebody that is a bodybuilder. That's how bodybuilder women faces look. I do, yeah. I'm with you though. He was real nice and respectful about it. You asked me, like he could have said way worse things, but he didn't. He kept it nice. I feel like he kept it nice and sweet. And yeah, the only deal, like the second girl, I guess she kind of had an issue with him saying that, saying what he said, but I don't think women understand that men, we do judge. We do look at appearance. And if we're asked what we don't like, what are we supposed to say? You know, uh and I just think a lot of women aren't just used to hearing men say, I don't like what I see. Or a your face is wrinkly or whatever. Like it is what it is. So yes, to me, I felt like yeah, he didn't say nothing wrong. I ain't even gonna hold you. I would have just let it rip. But that's just my personality,
Yeah,
you know. And
I mean,
huh.
I'm a very honest and direct person. I think um, discernment is important, and like I said, I've talked, not I've met him, but I talked to him a good bit over the last few weeks, and bruh is like a very like religious and nice guy, and so like when you're a nice person but a very direct person, sometimes those things clash, right? And I think
Yeah.
um I think I don't know that women aren't used to men saying what they don't like, because there's a lot of people on social media that say what they don't like and what they do like about women. I do think there is a oversensitivity um, at times
Okay.
uh, to like what is being said in open forums, right? Like, and I think in this space, um, like you could say this type of stuff in the comments or whatever, and it's whatever. But like in this space, when you say stuff like that, it's gonna get dragged, and like he got dragged in the comments, he got dragged in his DMs, all that stuff. So like, it is important to be mindful of like what forum and what space or what brand you want to create um, when you say things. So I don't have a problem with people being like, hey,
Your
don't
one
say
hour
things.
timer on Frederick's Echo Dot is ringing.
Um, but at the same time, it has to be both ways, and I think that's where I get irritated. Is like if women can say things, then men should be able to like state their preferences, or neither one of us should say anything out loud. Like, just be quiet.
Right. I totally get it. I just think the world still ain't used to hearing a man say what he don't like. And especially like you said on a public forum. And yeah, a lot of us, me, you, him, a lot of guys that actually, kept it 100, even though he did it to me on a nicer level, we gonna get dragged. Uh, but it's just the reality of it. And I think what it does is, in a lot of ways, it can it can actually help women go back and look at themselves and see, do they really measure up for the guys that they want or they desire? And I think that's a big deal too. Some women really have to go back and look and like, dang, if all these men are saying such and such, is there some truth to it? And I think that's a hard thing for some women to also to look at is, why are men rejecting me? So
That would
it
assume
just
that a lot of these women have self awareness. I think their self awareness one is not common. And I was talking about this, I want to say yesterday or day before, or maybe even today.
Okay.
I remember, like whether or not people really understand how the outside world values them or views them. Like I had this conversation a few years ago where, like, with a woman, I was like, "You don't determine your market value; the market determines your value, right?" And
Right.
so, if you think you're a 10, but the market, which is the men that you want to attract, think you're a 5, then you're a 5. I don't care what you say you are. You don't determine your value. It's like going to the store or like selling any good or product, like that. It just is what it is. And I think a lot of times social media, we talked about this in group chat, like social media has allowed women that are not necessarily the bad bitches to get the bad bitch aesthetic or access to the bad bitch apparel and accessories. And so they think in
Yeah, yeah,
turn,
yeah.
they in turn think that they are now bad bitches. And like, I'm not calling women bitches, but like, you not a bad bitch just because you put on what bad bitches put on. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so, if you're a 6, I don't care how you spruce it up, you still a 6. And we're not talking about your personality, we're not talking about accolades, nothing. If we just talking physically, anything, if you're a 6, you're a 6. And that's okay, because somebody gonna love you regardless. Niggas gonna fuck anything. Um, but acting like you're a 9 when you're a 6, it's a lot of women aren't willing to accept that. And I think a lot of times women don't have friends that are honest with them, like, hey baby, I love you to death, but you not like that. I think I asked earlier today, like, how many people think they're above 8? I think a lot of people think they're
Yes.
8s and above, and they're not. Like, I wouldn't even call myself 8. Like, I had like when I'm an 8, it's like when I got my locks retwisted, I got a fresh wine. I've been working out, like my clothes busting. Like, that's the day. That's the days when I'm like, oh yeah, I'm 8.5. But like on every other day, probably like 7, 7.5, and I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people aren't going to say that. They're gonna be like, oh, I'm a 10. When you ask a woman, or what would you rate yourself? I'm a 10. Based on what? Because 10 is perfect. You think you're perfect? You think you look better than Holly Berry? Think you look better than,
Right.
like, what 10? What scale are you on? So just be what it be. I don't think these women
Yeah.
would, no amount of like honest feedback is going to make some women accept that they are not what a majority of men want.
Yeah. I think the yeah, even when you asked that question, I read it how I read it, then, I was kind of corrected on it. Because I was like, when I step out, I get treated like I'm an 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
But the question was, how do I rate myself?
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, yeah, when I still see myself as the 5 or 6 that I've always been.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I grew up Steve Urkel. I
Mm-hmm.
grew up JJ from Good Times. I
Okay.
always tell people my story is I went from Steve Urkel to a Stefan Arkell.
Mm-hmm.
So even on the show, when I walked around the corner and all the women gasped and was like, "Ooh, that was new to me,"
Mm-hmm.
you know. So you know, I tell people like I don't, I don't even know. I look at myself as a 5 or 6, but anytime I go out, no matter where I go, wherever I'm at, the chicks notice me. So that's why I was like, when I go out, I guess I'm an 8, 8 or 9, but I still see myself as a 5 or 6. And to be honest, I'm cool with that. I don't, I don't feel like I have to be more than what I think I am because I'm really comfortable where I'm at.
Yeah, I think some of that is also upbringing, right? Like if you grow up getting ragged on and talk shit about, that becomes your baseline of what you think you are, right? Um, I got told I was handsome and attractive so much as a kid that like by the time I became, like, I was going through puberty and going through the ugly stage of being like being short, chubby, and like wearing glasses, I was aware of that. And then I was when I grew out of it, I grew out of it. Like I think a lot of times, um, men are ragged on and told how ugly they are or like how weird they look, and women are told how beautiful they are, right? And how pretty they are.
Yeah.
And so Men just generally like don't think that they hot shit until like they get some type of confirmation. Whereas women are
Yeah.
know that whether they are attractive or not as children, because who's gonna tell a little girl she's ugly? Like nobody's gonna do that.
Yep. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play another one.
Okay.
And Jador, why did you end up popping your balloon?
Dr. Elam, it's such a tragedy because you are so handsome. I feel like you are extremely arrogant, and I feel like you're probably gonna have a hard time because you seem like the type, like a know it all type of guy. And sometimes you have to be careful with that because even when you know it all, you don't know everything. So being humble sometimes can be your best friend, even if you do know it all, even if you're very smart, very wise, but just having a humble attitude, you know what I mean? You would probably go a lot further. And I say that with all the respect in the world.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Who's your dentist?
Who is my dentist? Not you, sweetheart. And I'm just going to leave it right there.
Oh, I know. I'm not your dentist.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's keep it
Let's
going.
go to our next person here. Your name and age and why you ended up popping.
So my name is Brittany. I'm 31, and like she said, you look really good. I like that you're in the you're a dentist, but you are given arrogant, and it's given toxic too. Like it's given to you want to debate all the time. Like it's like gonna give me a headache. And if you if you do know it all, just a little bit better to be humble. So that's it. But you look good. You're handsome, but it's given toxic, and I don't want that. And it's also given like this is a joke to you. Like you just want to come on here just to say stuff to get a viral moment. I'm not feeling that.
And Jador, why did you end up popping your balloon?
Dr.
Man. So, you know, people always say be humble.
Mm-hmm.
And words have meanings.
Mm-hmm.
So, two words that I looked up was humble.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also looked up the word narcissist. Not narcissism, but narcissist.
Mm-hmm.
When you raise your kids or when you looking to uplift somebody,
Mm-hmm.
you're actually telling them to be a narcissist.
Okay.
Because there's a difference between narcissism and being
Mm.
a narcissist.
Okay. Let me understand.
But then so now when you look at the word humble, and the
Mm-hmm.
definition of humble is to lower one's self-value, one's self-worth, and to lower one's self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who's gonna walk around literally telling people they love to lower their self-esteem, to lower their self-value, and lower their worth? When I looked up the word narcissist, it says to actually take pride in your accomplishments, take pride in what you've done, and actually value yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I had to look at this, because now we look at these dating shows and we're looking at relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
The women always tell men to be humble.
Mm-hmm.
But if we really look at it, are the women the ones suffering from narcissism? Because now narcissism is now saying you're better than other people. I know my value. I know my worth. I
Mm-hmm.
refuse to settle. So you need to humble yourself. So a lot of times, in my opinion, the way I'm looking at things is you're actually the one suffering from narcissist disorder. And you're telling me to be humble because you just said you know your value, you know your worth, and you refuse to settle. And also, when I come in, just like you see Dr. Elam, he's articulate, he knows what he wants, he knows what he desires, and now he's arrogant. He takes it as a joke. So, as the great song say, it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when we do it.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you feel about that?
I think people should stop using words they don't know the definitions of. For one, I've said this many times on my podcast. Learn the definition of words. Stop using buzzwords to like describe people or to defame people. I think with this particular thing, two things can be true. I do think that Elam is arrogant. um, he's a very arrogant fella, and he
Okay.
probably did take that as a joke because he probably doesn't think the women on that lineup were attractive enough to even grace him, and which may be fair. The young lady that was telling him to humble himself had an 11-month-old, like she had like 4 or 5
Oh
kids.
wow.
So
Oh.
as you can tell, I watched the show, and so um, she should probably not be giving out any advice on humility and any of that stuff. She should probably have been at home with her kids. So I think, yeah, like I said, two things can be true.
Okay.
I think women. I think a lot of people that use the word narcissist tend to be narcissists, right? It takes one. What's the old
Yes.
saying?
Okay.
It take one to know one, right?
Yes, sir. Okay.
And nobody's going to call themselves a narcissist, right? Um, when I think about uh, being humble or humility, I understand the definition, right? I think a lot of times we lean into our interpretation of a word, right? When we're using that word. Like I asked for my son to have a spirit of humility, not that I want him to down himself, but to never put himself above other people, right? Um,
Okay.
so like I asked for a spirit of humility as myself because I don't think that I'm better than anyone. I am very proud of the man that I am and the accomplishments that I have made, but I don't ever want to be so big headed that I think that I am better than everybody or that people are beneath me or that something's not worth my time. Because humility, I'm a big Georgia fan. Kirby Smart says humility is a week away, right? So,
Okay.
um, and so you could be knocked down very easily off your peg. And so, from my perspective, a lot of people just need to have more humility and understanding that they're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. They're not the best shit since sliced bread. They're not the best thing smoking. And there's always someone better. Like we had a conversation last week in the chat. Somebody was talking about how much money they make, and I was like, "Hey, you probably shouldn't brag about that because there's always somebody that makes more money than you. Big bank, take little bank. So now you bragging about how much money you make. If I make twice that, then I'm looking at you like you're a brokey, and then somebody that makes
Right.
dollars looking at me like I'm a brokey. So it is always important to have perspective, right? And I think a lot of people lack perspective. And a lot of these women on these shows, I've said it, they lack perspective. They lack self awareness. They lack the ability. They have shown that they are very shallow. And a lot of times when people are telling you to be humble, because I've been called arrogant before, and they might have been. A lot of times when people call you arrogant or cocky, is because you make them feel less than, right?
Okay.
Um, and that might not be anything that you're doing outwardly. You might not be saying anything crazy. It might just be your demeanor. Like I got reamed for being called. People were saying that I was nonchalant and I felt like I was better than everybody and didn't want to be there. Right. Whole time, I'm tired of shit because I was up to 4 o'clock in the morning the night before. I'm watching the Georgia football game versus Kentucky where they was bullshitting every time we took a break and they were annoying me. Right. But also, we had been there for 4 hours by the four almost 5 hours by the time we finished filming. And so if you're not talking to me, I don't need to be paying attention. If I've already popped on you, why do I care what you're talking about? Like, and so perspective is a motherfucker. And so a lot of people lack it. And so therefore they make assessments of people without having any full context of who that person is.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And that's one thing that people don't understand is that we be there a long time. You
Yeah.
know, and the difference between you going on there and me going on there, at least I was able to sit in the back until my name was called.
Mhm.
Whereas y'all got to stand there the whole time. So man, I couldn't even imagine standing there in one spot for that long. Like I
Yeah.
don't even know. Okay, let me ask you this, because
Mhm.
you was in the lineup. Do y'all take breaks to sit down and get water and stuff?
So I'll give you I'll give you a little bit more context. I'm a very punctual person. So I got
Okay,
there. So we're supposed to be
facts.
here at a certain time. I got there 30 minutes before that time, right? So much so that they was wrapping up an episode that they were recording, right? Um, and we were there before the women. So I was told to be here at X hour. We didn't start to 2 hours after that hour, right? Then we're standing.
Okay.
It's Phoenix. It's hot as hell. Like, so we're in the location that we're filming in with bright lights on you. You filming. We probably took 2 breaks, and it was like either we couldn't go to the bathroom unless we like made sure people wasn't in the hallway, so the girls couldn't see you, right? And the break was like 5 minutes, and
Damn.
so you got 2 5-minute breaks while filming for like 2.5 hours. So you know, but I wasn't. It was the thing is my demeanor is just very. If I'm not like talking to you, I can seem aloof. I've been called aloof. I've been called nonchalant, bro. I think I said it yesterday. Somebody asked like, "Oh, you just seem very nonchalant." I'm like, because nonchalant be going hard. Like it ain't that deep. I'm standing in the lineup. I'm in a power position. If I
Okay.
come
Okay.
around the corner, I might have been a little bit more on edge, but I'm standing here. So if I don't
Yeah.
like you, I can pop right now. You can't. You ain't gotta say nothing to me. I gotta say a word, right? Um, this is a good time. This isn't the end all be all of my dating life. So, but it might be for some, and I can't. That ain't got shit to do with me. Um, and so be a lot of projecting. But I think
Uh.
overall, these ladies were intimidated by Elam because I think he had been on the episode before. I don't know if this was before he came on there or after he came on there with the girl we call her a liability. I can't remember which episode. Um, and so a lot of times when you've been on there before, people have already, if they watch the show, they have an opinion of you, whether right, wrong, or indifferent.
Okay. Where do men come from? Blame that. I don't. Hot wing. I don't understand what you're saying. Where do men come from? Blame that. I don't really understand that question. So if you want to kind of the nerves, I don't. The nerves of what? But what we're gonna do is go to the next video and let's see how this goes.
Why
Okay,
you
not
popped
that.
the
We already did that one.
That's me.
Okay, look,
Well, he popped his.
he popped. Let's come on
go.
over here. So why did we end up popping, Hubert?
The hesitation, like I need my woman to be like know what she want and make the decision. Also, there are a few things aesthetically that I don't like. I'm not really big on like weave, and if I can see a braid, and then like I can see the bump,
The
in the
zoom in.
The braids. Okay.
and
I can't zoom.
the tooth.
Oh, the
For tooth.
ooh.
Yep.
All right. Well, is Hubert someone that's your type? I know you had a little hesitation when.
Yeah, no, I mean, he is someone that would be my type. I mean, just again, based on the exterior, because I haven't heard anything from him yet. The dress code, yes. The demeanor on the facials, it's just giving I don't want to be here. But aside from that, yeah, he's somebody that I would probably, yeah.
Thank you. Okay, I'll go ahead and have you ask the two guys a
I mean, I don't mind because he was so wrong with the braids. I don't.
Oh,
I,
oh.
Take it
You
off.
want to take it off?
Take it off.
I mean,
Take it off.
I
Take
mean,
that
you know.
motherfucker
I
off.
mean, why can't I?
Because you shouldn't have had it on. And I love her.
Lord, bro. Hey, that's you, dog. Hey, that's you. Wow.
Everything I said, I meant. She hesitated, and no disrespect, right? No disrespect.
Yeah.
It was 3 dudes left in the lineup. It was me, the homie La, and the homie Hip Hop Anonymous. If you is hesitating between me and Hip Hop Anonymous, baby, go pick him because they're like, as far as physically, aesthetically, what we had said, there really isn't a comparison. And like, I have no problem with brother, but like, I know I look better than brother. And so if you if you want him, by all means. Now I did talk to her afterwards, and she liked the fact that how he was dressed. He was more dressed up than we were. Like I had on a cutoff. I had on like my little Kith barber shirt or whatever, and I had on $400 like casual shoes. But again, she was looking at the aesthetic of the attire versus aesthetic of the person. And so for me, I'm like, if you think it's even a comparison aesthetically, don't choose me. Go ahead. don't even waste your time, baby. And then as far as her having a break, look, she had on the wig. It was not a glued down wig. There is a little lump right here.
Okay.
I'm taller than her. Joe's probably like 5'3". I'm 6'2". What I can see and what other people can see up close in person is two different things. I was wrong to assume it was a braid. I should have said I see a lump and just left it at that, right? But I don't fucking like wigs, so I almost popped when she came around the corner with the wig on. But I was trying to
Okay.
be patient and be because you can take off a wig, right? We can have a conversation.
Okay.
If you always wear wigs, then cool, pop, we done, right? But if you're willing to not wear wigs, because I don't like wigs, then we can have a conversation, right?
Yeah.
But then also something was going on with her tooth. I don't know if it was cavity. I don't know whatever it was. It was like like as somebody that has I have braces. At the time I had
Okay.
this for like 6 months. My braces about to come off in September. You know what I'm saying? Teeth matter to me. And Joe,
Okay.
I think Joe wouldn't have got her teeth. She wouldn't have got that tooth fixed. You know what I'm saying? So everything that I said, I meant, and it didn't bother me that anybody felt no type of way about it because I don't fucking like wigs. I've been saying I don't fucking like wigs on my podcast in real life on social media. I hate that shit.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But my initial reason was she hesitated. Then I was like, I don't really like wigs, so that don't help your case. And then you got something going on in your tooth with your mouth, and I'm shallow that way. Like there are things that I'm very
Yeah.
shallow about, and I ain't gonna get over that. I'm always notice that shit in your mouth.
Man, I was like, when I saw that, I was like, damn. Cause I ain't gonna lie, like to me, she looked good as hell. I was like, damn. And when she took that wig off, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, damn, she hit it with the checkmate. Like, why do you even need the wig? I think that's what some women don't understand. Everybody I know said she went up a point or two when she took the wig off. Literally.
Yeah. Look, I've asked this question many times to women in our chats, in real life, on social media, on my podcast. Who is telling y'all to wear them things? Niggas don't like them wigs. Niggas are either don't like it or indifferent. I don't know any nigga
Mm-hmm.
saying, yeah, I want my girl with a middle part bust down. Like,
Right.
ain't like nigga care if your hair done, but like niggas do not want to know, niggas do not care about you having a wig. And if enough niggas don't like wigs, maybe y'all should stop wearing them. Like, I get it, it's for protective style. Some people have health issues, cool. I understand. I get it. And hell, you might not want to do your hair. You gotta like I I date a doctor. I get it. You know what I'm saying? You don't got time to do your fucking hair. But I don't like wigs.
Yeah.
So if you're wearing a wig, you don't qualify. For me. Go wear a wig with somebody else. And if your wig is cheap, that's even worse. I'm not saying her wig was cheap, but you seen them cheap ass wigs where you can see the lace, you see the goddamn netting. I ain't fucking with it.
Man, it was just like, I think, you know, ain't nobody ever told a woman, hey, baby, go in that bathroom and put them lashes on.
Mm-mm.
Girl, no one, I don't think no dude ever said, baby, go in there and put that wig on. And especially not if she looked good without it. But I think a lot of times that come from their homegirls. That's who telling them to put them lashes on. That's who telling them to put them wigs on. It's they homegirls and they gay bestie.
I don't even think it's that. They just seen the bad bitches.
Okay.
They seen the bad bitches with it on, but the bad bitches got the money to get the most expensive wig, the best lashes, and if you can't afford that shit, don't put it on. Like, um, they just and it's a trend. So like, none of they don't be wanting to get left out, and it be like niggas don't like that shit, man. It's just like all the people going to get their BBLs taken out. Nobody asked y'all
Yeah.
to do that shit.
And one thing, I always try to look at both sides of the coin.
Mm-hmm.
And I say so, you know, some women they put on the lashes, they put on the wigs.
Mm-hmm.
And they always try to come for us guys with beards. Well, your beard is the same thing. But I look at it, I say it's not beards, it's the jewelry. You see the dudes that can't walk out the house without 5 or 6 necklaces on, watches, bracelets. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
That's a man wig. Because
that's what you
that's
think
a
the man
man to
wig?
wake up.
That's what you think.
Huh?
That's what you think the man wig is.
Because a lot of them dudes don't have that same energy without all them necklaces and without all that jewelry on. They
Mm.
not the same dude. Just like the chicks, if they take all the makeup off, the wig and the lashes off, they not that same chick. A lot of dudes hide behind all the necklaces and the cars because without it, you know, they don't feel like they're worth it. So I always just kind of look at like a comparison, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's society. People use things to hide or to make themselves feel bigger or better than what they truly may be. You know what I'm saying? Um, I found it funny when you said 5 necklaces. I wear 3 chains when I go out, but that's just because I don't like shirts. I don't like. I wear a lot of plain shirts, and I'd be thinking.
Okay.
I think it look weird when you just got on a plain shirt and nothing to distract from the fact that you just got on a plain shirt. So I put on my
So
necklace.
you rocking them, but let me ask you this: you're not rocking them like Mozzie.
No, I would never do no shit like that. I got three. I got 3 gold rope chains. That's it. The same
Okay,
chains I got on in this is the same chains I
yeah,
wear all the time. If I'm going out and I'm like stepping out,
yeah,
and I got a suit on. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes I wear
yeah.
2 of them. Sometimes I wear 3. But I ain't spending all that goddamn money on no jewelry. Like I think my necklaces cost me probably about 8 to 10 bands total.
Dang, that's more than how much mine costs. I got the Shannon Sharp joint I always wear,
Mhm. Yeah,
and I bought mine off of Timu.
I think my heavy one was like 35, and the other 2 was probably like close to 2, something like that.
Yeah, and as a dude, that's something I had to learn. It's not about the brand, it's not about the jewelry, it's
Mm,
about who you are. It's the confidence in yourself.
yeah,
You know, and even when I looked at how you dress, I didn't see a lot of. I don't remember a lot of jewelry, uh, a lot of shine. It was just you doing you.
I had on a Movado watch, my gold tennis bracelet, my three necklaces. That
Hey,
I'm a black dude from South Georgia. At the end of the day, I ain't gonna do too much. I don't wear designer for real like that. Um, I had on the Kith shirt because I had just bought it, and I was like, where the fuck am I gonna wear this on a regular, like on a normal everyday basis? Because look, it's like a barber jacket. You know what I'm saying? Like something a barber would wear. So
okay,
I'm like, oh, I'm going to pop the balloon. I could wear it to that, and I think I wore it at one other time. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But like I wear jeans. I wear tennis shoes. I wear Air Maxes. I wear J's. I wear Blazers. You ain't gonna never see me in no Gucci, nothing, no Louis, nothing, none of that. No Balenciagas. I'm not spending that much money on no fucking shoes or no clothes. Like I wear Levi's. I shop
Levi.
at
Shit,
I
man,
wear
Levi's ain't cheap.
outfitters, Zara, H&M. Like you'll never know where the hell I am.
Hell nah. You
Like
ain't getting no jeans from no H&M and
all
Zara.
my,
Cause
all
if
my,
you over 6'2", for
all
sure
my,
not.
all my jeans is Levi's. Unless
Okay, okay, okay.
I got some flare pants from like this place called Minimal, but like if you see me with jeans on, they probably Levi's. I
Yeah.
only buy Levi's, but yeah, but I'm not like a brand guy. Like I'd rather spend money on a trip. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going to Costa Rica in July. I'm going to Puerto Rico in June. Like I'm
Heck yeah.
not spending no money on no fucking clothes, bro.
Yeah, I'll be in Thailand in May. I feel you. But I am a name brand type of person, but it's because I'm a walking billboard and it's a side hustle that I have. So that's
I
why
don't
I
know
wear.
nobody. I'm just talking about me.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot
Yeah,
of
no
times
doubt.
people, but also you got to think about black culture. Like a lot of people come from nothing. You know what I'm saying? And so like they feel like they got to buy whatever they weren't able to get, right? Whereas,
Uh-huh.
whereas me, that might look like a car. Like I got a Beamer, uh, but that shit also a tax write off. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah.
but yeah, it just be whatever. Like, but back to the point of this, like, I think a lot of times, like what I said, I felt like a lot of people were upset about it, but who the hell are you to tell me I can't not like wigs? Like,
Right.
so what?
All right.
And if we
People
could
jumping
have
in my
your name and
comments
age
more
and
weeks.
what's your toxic trait?
Hubert, 37. I have three.
Oh.
I'm flirtatious. I can be moody.
Oh, they're the 3 chains. Okay. Okay.
And I can sometimes be nonchalant
I had a mint in my
about my
mouth.
attachment.
I got in trouble
Okay.
for having that mint in my mouth at the point.
Okay. All right. So since you asked that question, hello.
Some things that I do look for in a man is a man that's going to prioritize me in the relationship, a man that's going to allow me to rest in my femininity, a man that prioritizes me in the relationship, a man
She look good too.
that allows me to rest in my femininity, a guy that's just going to shower me with gifts and love and just everything great.
Okay. Nice. Now, what are some deal breakers?
Some deal breakers are, I would have to say, a guy that does not prioritize me, a guy that has a wandering eye,
As she wandered her eyes.
and what else?
I mean, that's good enough.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we did get a couple of pops. Let's
Yeah,
go on over there, see why they ended up popping.
Okay.
All right. Let's start right here with your name and age.
Hubert, and I'm 37.
And Hubert, what do you do?
I'm in software sales. Yep.
And why did you end up popping your balloon?
Oh, that's the Movado Bold.
Well, one, I have
No,
a
that's
child.
not
My son is my
bold.
first priority.
I got bold.
That's not the
That-
bold.
So
That's
when
not a
someone
bold.
says they want me to prioritize them,
Okay.
that's a red flag for me. But also, gifts isn't my love language to give. Like I don't believe in showering people with gifts. I feel like that's earned. And if you're my partner, and I feel motivated to do so, I will do so. But like if that's what you coming in like I want to be showered with gifts, wrong guy. Yep.
Got it. Now, is he someone that's your type?
He could be. He could be. But I truly believe if I was your woman, you would want to shower me with gifts.
She want me. She want
Say so. I mean, she is an attractive lady.
Mhm.
But why do they think that just because they're attractive that we're just automatically supposed to give them stuff?
I don't know. It could be her daddy. It could be how her mama told her. It could be just what she want. I think uh I forget her name. But Gourmet Goddess on Instagram if you want to look her up. She's a very nice woman. She had her dog with her. Her little
Okay.
dog with but she is like a mom with like I want to say her son like 17, 18 years old, something like that. So
Okay.
probably in a space in her life where she just looking to have fun and enjoy life, and I think she's a travel nurse or whatever. So like she
Uh-oh.
not that type of travel nurse. I don't think she. Well, I can't say, but I know she practiced Islam, and so I don't think she isn't willing to like be a good partner. But for me, she couldn't even answer why she would be a good partner or why someone would want to do those things for her.
Okay.
And so
Okay, I do remember that.
I think so for her is like it's an expectation that hey, I look good, I got all this going for me, and you my man, so you should do it. And for me, um, I'm I have financial trauma, not because like somebody was a gold digger with me. I just watched my mom not be really good with money. So like anytime a woman comes to me with the mindset of like we're gonna be frivolous with our money, we gonna like you got to shower me with gifts and then it's a automatic no for me because it's gonna trigger me. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I'm the type of dude that spend a lot of money on my woman. Like if I'm dating somebody, like money really ain't a thing, but you gotta be my woman. If you're
Okay.
not a woman, you better shut up and get what I give you. Um,
Right, right.
and I'm not saying like, oh, we gonna go eat at McDonald's or nothing, but like, don't come in here with your hand out. Don't think you about to use me for money or my status or any of that. Nah, baby, that's not how this works. Once you show me that you're in it for me and just me and what me as a person, then bank account going bank account. You know what I'm saying? But
So you have to earn it.
yeah, like let me know that you here for me, like for better or
Exactly.
worse. You know what I'm saying? And then I don't plan on it being no worse, but you know, money is finite.
Already. Okay, let me
Like to travel.
hold on.
Like to travel.
There's a couple of more I wanted to slide through.
Why?
Shoot,
Did you stop on the cat one?
I'm a hairstylist.
I know we. Oh,
If you don't understand the difference between like a
this nigga daddy.
this one right here, man. This one right here.
good wig and a bad wig, we not gonna work out. I think that's a disorder. And then two, she probably got a bad wig.
Jim, that's all I'm gonna say to you. Don't even talk about wigs, and you need to go to the gym.
Hey, I done lost a little weight, man. It's okay. It's cool.
That's what I'm saying. You worry about wigs, you should be worried about the gym and the diet and other things like that. I just
feel
feel
you.
like, once again, if you're gonna be focused on aesthetics, you should be aesthetically pleasing.
That's cool.
Yo, he one of the other ones that don't like wigs. He let it be known. But is he wrong for that? And no girl didn't have a wig on, so why was she tripping? Like,
I think let's answer both of your questions. Was he wrong? No. You're asking the nigga that don't like wigs, so of course, no, he's not wrong. Especially about bad wigs. I think for her, one, she's a very she be too she a lot. Just like if you go to her
right.
Instagram, watch they catch up, she need to like calm
Oh,
down.
I saw it.
Yeah, she need to calm down.
Mm-hmm.
But I think from her, she like you got some nerve to talk about people wigs, and you ain't even like that. Like,
Okay.
because not for nothing, she might have been the coldest one up there aesthetically.
Facts. That's a fact. That's a fact.
So long hair, pretty face, nice body, nigga, shut up. You need to be quiet. like you why you talking about wigs and you need to go do some sit-ups like that, and I felt her, you know what I'm saying, but at the same time that's why I say the shit work both ways. Like if you gonna be talking shit about people, be able to take the shit back, you know what I'm saying, if they say something back. But I think a lot of times women don't be ready for a man to say something back.
Yeah. Yeah, JL, he kind of explained why he kind of look exhausted. You know, a lot of people don't understand, man. We rarely be there a really long time. And, it's not a lot of breaks. And it's other stuff that I won't talk about, But yeah, we be there a long time.
Yeah, keep me
And
out.
so, huh?
I said keep me out of that.
Yeah. Yeah, we be there a long time. So,
Yeah.
that's why sometimes people can look like they uninterested or exhausted. It's just because we be there for a minute. But
Yeah,
I think, dude.
I think we had like 8 or 9 girls or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's a long time. And then Danny, like that first girl,
Okay.
that took like 30 minutes. Real time. Like, so you know what I'm saying? Like it got edited down because or whatever. But It took like 30 minutes just to get to her final pop.
Yeah. Yeah, some of them really be dragging it too. I'll be like, come on, okay,
It
okay.
wasn't her fault. It wasn't her fault at all. I'm just leaving
It-
it there.
okay, okay.
It wasn't her fault.
Yeah, but yeah, that brother, also it's about what you wear. I think he probably could have wore a different shirt because the way he had his shirt tucked in, it only accentuated his belly. So it's all about how you put that shit on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so of course,
He should have wore some flyer shit.
yeah,
He looked like Tax Man Dan. He looked like an accountant.
yeah. So it had the collar up. Like I didn't understand that. Like,
Hey, a
yeah,
lot of motherfuckers going there that can't dress. I'm gonna just put. I'm not
that.
saying that he can't dress, but like a lot of people go on the show, and I'd be like, did they ask their friend, did they look good in this outfit? Because they don't.
Bro, I'm not. Sometimes I'll overdo it. So even what I had on, my little brother put that together for me.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Bro, send me a few outfits and let me help mix and match before you go on there looking crazy." So yeah, when you finna go on a show and there's millions of people that could potentially watch, like yeah, you got to make sure you know what I'm saying you're looking good because at the same time it's other opportunities. And I tell people, it's not even the people that's in the lineup. It's actually gonna be the people in your DM after the show era.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the floodgates open. It's the people in your DM after the show.
Mm-hmm.
Let me play this one.
An age and why you ended up popping your balloon.
Brianna, 26. My eyes are up here, baby. Are you looking at the tattoo?
No, I'm looking at the hair on your arms. Women I deal with, they don't have hair on their arms.
Don't do too much.
Hey, I'm just being honest,
Don't do
Queen.
too much.
I don't like that. That's all I was
I
looking
don't
at. You
like
trying to say
that
if I'm
in a
looking
real
at
way.
particular body
You just
parts,
wasn't
but
looking at
that's
my
not
eyes.
what it is.
That's
No, I was
all
looking at the hair on your
Anyways,
arms, Queen.
she asked me the question.
Yes.
The crazy thing
Yeah,
is,
I'm in
if you go to her
heels and you ain't
page,
tall enough.
this
Okay.
Don't
how
do
she
too much.
Well,
though.
you're
how
not
she looks right
qualified,
now
Right,
so
did
that's
her no
all
justice.
good.
Let's
Like I don't know if it was the wig, the hair, or the outfit, but she looks way better on social media. And I think probably in real life.
Bro, so with that being said, so on my episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
The girl that I
Where's the
asked,
trouble?
I said back that ass up, right? And she said, I'm not gonna back it up in a club, but I'll do it at home.
Mm-hmm.
Uh bro, same exact thing like you just said. After the show aired, I go on her Instagram, I DM her like, hold on. Why you didn't wear none of this stuff on your Instagram to the show? I was like, you popping.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why you didn't dress like that on the show? Like your Instagram and what you showed on the show are two different people.
Yeah. I think because a lot of people, so when they tell you come on the show, they tell you dress to impress or like dress like you on a first date. And I think a lot of times people try to keep it modest, right? How I was dressed on there, I probably wouldn't wear that to a first date.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Just because in case we eat, I don't want nothing to get white on. I don't want nothing to get on my white shirt or my white shoes.
Okay.
So typically, I'm probably gonna wear something dark, but at the same time, like, where are we going on this first date? You know what I'm saying? I don't like going on first dates to dinner, like because I don't want you looking at me eating, especially now with braces. Like I don't want no shit in my teeth. Like
oh yeah, been there.
I gotta pop my rubber bands out. Probably not going to dinner on the first date. You know what I'm saying? And I think like I like to do activities. I might go to putt putt or whatever. And if I'm going to putt putt, I might put some fly shit on. Like I might have on some J's, some other shit. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times how people would dress in their normal everyday life or on a first date doesn't necessarily fit the aesthetic, and so people get confused about what to wear. For me, I flew into Phoenix I got in Friday night. I left Monday morning before the sun came up. I mean, not Monday morning,
Okay.
Sunday morning before the sun came up. Um, so I brought 2 outfits. Well, three. I brought 3 outfits. And one of the outfits I wore the night before. I had on my J's, had on this vest, a purple shirt because the J's was purple and white, a purple shirt with a lid on it, with the white vest and some blue and some ripped jeans. I probably would have wore that, but
Yeah.
because I went out on the town and was around people, I wore my flyer outfit the night before, and so the outfit that I wore to the show was my calm outfit. It was just like, oh, because I had some other shoes I had some Air Maxes I could have put on. Like I was just like, I'll just put this shit on. Like I don't.
Yeah, they look nice and fresh too. I said, okay, they look like they was fresh out the box.
Yeah, I had
You know
never
what I'm
worn
saying?
them.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, that's it is what it is, man. I'm gonna get to the next one, which is because we coming up almost on
Yeah,
an
I like to
hour.
travel.
Have you been out the country?
Yes, I have. I was in the Navy, so I've been a few places.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We
you got
actually
kids?
matched.
I do.
How many kids you
I
got?
have one.
You
been
should.
married before?
I have not.
You think, bro?
Sorry.
What's
That's a
wrong?
deal breaker. I mean, how old are you?
38.
Yeah, 38. Never been married. Got kids. That's a deal breaker. I don't like quitters. You might as well stay single. Probably good at it.
Bro, you funny as hell, fam. I was like, yo, what is he on?
Oh. Wait. What do you mean?
Because if you've been single until you're 38, that means you're good at it. Don't quit.
How old are you?
I'm 48. I was married for 17 years.
Bro, you
So
48?
you a quitter too?
Nah, she quit me.
8. Well,
I
almost
would have
50.
never
You
guessed
still
you
single. You
48.
can stay single too. No?
Maybe.
Okay. Like to travel?
Yeah, I like to travel.
Have you been out
Just say you weren't
Yeah,
attracted. You wasn't attracted to that lady. That's all it was.
It was that, but it was also what I said.
Her face is interesting.
It is.
Her face is very interesting.
Yeah. It's yeah. She do got an interesting face for sure. Honestly, I'm you know what, never mind. But when you heard me say what I said, what did you think?
I was like, bro, just saying anything could get her ass up out of his face. To be honest, that's how I felt. Like, I thought it was funny because, like, hey, if you've been doing it for a while, just stick to it because you're good at it. It's fucking hilarious. Because I mean, some people are better at being single than they are being in relationships. So I mean, there's some truth to that. But I was just like, bro, probably just up there saying anything because he want to get her ass up out of his face because he not interested.
The thing is, when I said nobody likes a quitter,
Mm-hmm.
and the thing is, right? If you've been successfully single and you've made it to 38, you've been successfully single, and you've never been married, then why quit doing something you're good at? Because I don't think, in my personal belief, that a woman can turn on being an actual wife later in life if she's never done it before. This is when you start getting women saying, "You're disturbing my peace." How do you, as a woman, how do you get to 40 plus, 38, 40 plus, and then all of a sudden it's going to take orders from a man, your husband? That's going to be real hard to do if you ain't never done it before. Now all of a sudden he's in control of your life. He's in control of you. He's in control of your son, and you got to fall up under his leadership. And later in life, that's really hard for a lot of women to do as they get older.
Right.
And also, like I said, I was married for 17 years. I was married way longer than I've been single. And one thing I hear from single women are they're happily single. They choose to be single. They're single by choice. They get to take their girl trip. They get to do whatever they want to do. They're happily single. So why would you quit that? If you're happy with it, you're good at it, then why would you quit? And that's really my thought process. if you never prioritized being a wife and you made it this far, you even had a kid, but being a wife wasn't a priority, then I just believe, me personally, that it's really hard for you to do later in life. And that's why I said, don't quit. You're probably good at it. And what happens is if you find a dude that might actually marry you, then at that point he's going to be miserable.
I mean, we all entitled to our opinions. I don't know. Does that also apply to men that ain't never been married?
No,
Okay.
nope. It's a double standard, and I believe in them.
Okay.
It is what it is.
I don't know, man. I can't call it. I know a lot of women that are now getting married in their early to mid 30s. Um, so I can't really say whether people are successful at it or not. Um, I don't know. I think it also depends on what your partner values, right? Does
Okay.
does your partner value you being a housewife or this submissive woman that never has an opinion? Because a lot of these women that have been very career focused are going to have an opinion. So you got to find a man that values you and your opinion. That or a man that wants a wife with a child, or all those things that come into play. I don't think it's a one size fits all thing. I do think it is very hard for people to adjust. I think, from in my perspective, for men and women to adjust to being a spouse when you've been doing what the fuck you want to your entire life, right? Like, I know for me, it would be a transition to go from being single Hugh that, like, there are consequences to being in a relationship and dating, but those consequences don't end up with me paying alimony or or spousal maintenance or whatever. Like, so I don't know. A lot of women are stuck in their ways, and a lot of women have um this built up callous of being single. So I could see your perspective on it. I understand the perspective. Um, but yeah, it's an interesting one for sure. Hey, I'm not mad at it. It was a moment. It was hilarious to me, as someone that watches the show regularly. Um, but yeah, I know they probably got at your ass a lot in the comments.
Man, look, bro. I posted today. I'm at 3 million views on my YouTube just from that clip alone.
Mhm.
Uh, bro, I got death threats. Uh, they leaked my address.
What the fuck is like? I heard. Sorry to interrupt you. You not the only person I heard that's been doxxed.
Just for
You know what I'm saying?
speaking, huh?
I said, I'm sorry if it cut out. I was like, not to interrupt you, but like, you not the only person I heard of being doxxed. How are you? Who are these people that finding people's phone number?
If I'm gonna be honest, bro, I almost think it was one of my coworkers.
Uh, they don't fuck with you.
Yeah, no, I'm. Yeah, I'm the type of dude at work that really don't mess with too many people. And at the same time, a lot of people at my job don't like me because I'm me. I'm unapologetically me, and I've always been that way.
Mhm.
Uh, but the thing is, to go back to just us as men, there's certain values, there are certain qualifications that we have,
Mhm.
and just like a woman can say, you need to make $100,000. You need
Mhm.
to be over 6 foot tall. You need to have a six pack, and you need to have an eggplant down to your knees.
Mhm.
They can say that. I remember the song "I Don't Want No Scrub."
Mhm.
I don't want no short man. But soon as a man says what he don't want, then he's gay. He don't like his mama. He don't like women. He's sassy. I don't get it.
Hey man, I after this experience and the stuff I seen in my comments and in comments, because I didn't really read too much comment. Like, after the first sort of show, what the show dropped at like 2 o'clock my time. After like 12 a.m. that day, if it didn't come on my page, I ain't really see it. But
Okay.
the amount of times I got called sassy, uh, or suggested that I might like men was crazy to me. Uh,
Yep.
or the amount of like, oh, he's desperate, he'll never find anybody was hilarious to me. Like that was the hilarious shit. Like, oh, he never gonna find anybody. Okay. Whatever you say. Um, yeah, I don't know why. And I think it happens a lot in our community when a man doesn't like something about black women, he automatically is gay, or associated with gayness, or hating women. It's sad because like I love black women. Like it's the pin post on my Instagram. I love black women, right? I don't bash black women. I don't hate black women. I love black women, but that don't mean I'm not gonna comment on shit that I don't like. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I think when you are comfortable, hey, voicing my opinions, like Aaron Plummer said, you're not qualified. If you're not qualified, I don't really give a fuck about your opinion. Like if I'm not interested in you, I could give a damn about how you feel about how I feel or what I don't like. You know what I'm saying? And I said that in the chat, like 95% of the people that was talking shit to me, I wouldn't give a flying fuck about their opinion. Like I don't want to talk to you. Like so thank you for your opinion, your unsolicited opinion about my opinion or my feelings, but who cares? Like you talking to somebody on their page and could get blocked. I could delete your comment. So you wrote all that soliloquy for no reason. Like you wasting your time. Get off my page.
Yeah, nah, no doubt, man. It was I ain't gonna lie, bro. Them comments did bother me. I got
You
a
said
younger
it
daughter
did?
that live.
It did
Yeah,
or
they
it,
did. No,
okay.
they did. They did. And I think what bothered me the most was that it bothered my daughter. And so when she started reading the comments and then she came home and showed me a video somebody did about me,
Mm-hmm.
it bothered me because it bothered her.
Right.
Uh, so I tell people even that after all that happened, I went to Houston for the weekend.
Where
And
you live at?
I live in Dallas Fort Worth.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I
So
heard.
bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was shook. Like I don't I know people that got big followings that was hitting me like, bro, I ain't never went viral. They said, and
Mm-hmm.
I say, bro, you don't never want to go viral. I said, it's a very bad feeling because I was looking over my shoulder probably for like a week after that. But the cool thing was though, at the end of the day, is that people come up to me all the time, bro. You didn't say nothing wrong, bro. You was right. I don't have married couples come up to me say, yeah, we prioritize marriage young. We know exactly what you were saying. So one thing I had to understand is that the comments online really don't mean nothing because the people that was coming to me in person, it was a whole different energy. This one chick was like, hey, I want to hook you up with my aunt. And I was like, so how old is your aunt? She was like 40 something. I said, has she ever been married? She was like, no. I said, but didn't you watch the show? You know that ain't a good match, right?
Nah, that is true. Like, I think the reason I didn't feel no type of way is because all my friends and my family was like, "That's on brand." You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't feel no type of like. Yes, they jumped at people in the comments or whatever. But I would like tapping them on the side, like, "Hey, don't even give it no energy." You know what I'm saying? Because if they do too much, I'm gonna block them or delete them. You feel me? But yeah, I've never wanted to be famous. Like I had the podcast because I wanted to share information, keep gatekeeping, out of the black community. Like I want to end that, and I want to build some type of revenue and income to like support my son and build generational wealth. But like I could give a fuck about fame. You know what I'm saying? And so going viral, um, which is, I mean, part of the shit was hard for me because I've always said I can't be famous because I be like Kanye knocking people cameras out their hand. Like people um Like people walk up
Yeah.
on me all the time, be like, "Hey, is you bruh from the Pop the Balloon show or whatever?" And I'll be like, "Nah, that ain't me." And you just keep walking. You know what I'm saying? Because why the fuck are you walking up on me? You don't know me, and
Okay.
you don't know how paranoid I am. I usually got a pistol on me, so that's crazy that you walking up on a stranger that you don't know, asking them if they was on the show. Um, but usually the people that do when I do talk to them, they like, man, or like girls will be like, "Oh, do you see my braid?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I actually do see a braid."
I think the
Or
crazy part
like,
is,
they be like, "Oh, she did look better. She shouldn't have wore that wig." I'd be like, "I know. That's what the fuck I said." Like, um, but like, it don't. I ain't never had nobody come up it to me like negatively. But the first week the show came out, there was a tequila event in Chicago. I live in Chicago, and I went out, and a girl. So, mind you, this is not a well lit venue. Like
uh-huh.
when you at one of them events, it's kind of dark in there. They got the light in or whatever, but it ain't like you can see me. A girl recognized me, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And
Yep,
she
yep,
looking at me, and I was like, "Yo, calm down. Yeah, it's me, but you need to calm down. You is doing too much. Like,
yep.
um, like pointing at me because you don't know me. Like, don't point at me." Um, but yeah, but that's what kind of going on the show. Like, I don't think I even thought about that part of it. Like, oh, if I go viral in a negative way, motherfuckers gonna be bothering me.
Yeah, I didn't think about that either. And honestly, even like when I said what I said, I wasn't. People was like, "You rehearsed that in a car." Nah, like people who know me understand that that's just how I talk. I could be kind of fly at the mouth sometimes.
Mm.
Sometimes, that's just how I am. But I think the craziest thing is now when I meet women, the first thing they ask me, "So, would you pop my balloon?" That's literally.
Women ask me that a lot, and I'd be like, "Yeah, I probably would." Uh, or no, I'm like, "No, you're attractive," but then I got more questions. So,
Yeah.
like, I'm like, "You got kids?" They be like, "Yeah." I'm like, "You want more kids?" I'm like, "Nah, it won't work, baby, because you got too many kids, and my rule is 3, and I already got 1, so we can't have no kids."
Dang. You do better than me, dog, because I don't 3. God, dog.
Well, no, when I say 3, I mean like we together can't have more than 3 kids
Oh, okay, okay,
because
okay.
I already got 1. So if
Yeah.
you got
Okay.
1, you may can get 1 out of me by the time I get snipped next year. But if you got 2, that shit is off the table. We already outnumbered in the house. I'm good. We're
Yeah,
not having
nah, no. Yeah, nah, I totally understand that, How old are you?
38. I'll be 39 in October.
Okay, yeah. People always, yeah, they be like, bro, you don't look your age. But I tell people I don't look my age because in my 20s I was married. Uh
Mm,
I like I like old school cars. So I have a
mhm.
75 Corvette Stingray.
Okay.
And when you when you buy old cars, you
Mhm.
kind of want the one that's been in the garage.
Mhm.
Not a whole lot of miles on it, not had a whole bunch of owners. And that's how I looked at me and being married. I was in a house for 17 years. I wasn't in the streets. I wasn't doing drugs,
You was
drinking
inside.
alcohol. I was inside. So when I came back out, I was still fresh. So it was like I did have to learn a lot because now, like I'm kind of getting good at being single now. So now that I'm out the garage, it might be kind of hard to get me back in there. But I tell people marriage a lot of times will preserve you. Uh,
Mm.
you know, because you're focused on your family. You're not out there racking up bodies, soul ties, you know, drinking and smoking and all that wild stuff that some people do in their 20s and 30s. And then by the time they 40 years old, they look rough.
When did you get married in your 20s?
I got married at 21.
Oh damn, you was a baby.
Yeah, I got married at 21. But now at 48, my kids are grown. Uh,
Yeah.
and I'm chilling. So, it's like even going on the show helped boost my confidence because, like I said earlier, I wasn't, that fly dude growing up. I tell people I suffer from the Michael B. Jordan complex. When dude told old girl,
when he got
I
upset
remember,
when you called
yes,
dude.
yep.
Yeah.
You don't forget that. People didn't understand what he was saying, but I understood. No matter how much women say you look good or whatever, whatever, you still don't forget all the women that talk trash about you, said, da 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 growing up. You don't forget that. It's kind of like a little chip that sits on your shoulder. But I am trying to grow past that though, because I don't want to block my blessings either, by having a chip on my shoulder a little bit.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah. I mean, I think I always tell people like I have a defense mechanism of like when I walk in the room, I'm dissecting everybody because I was a short, chubby kid named Hubert wearing glasses that was in the gifted program. So,
Okay.
but I don't let I can't even remember the people that played me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm so far removed from them people. Like
Okay.
from I wouldn't call it a small town, but it's 200,000 people population. You know what I'm saying? I don't live in DC. I don't live in California. I don't live in Atlanta. I don't live in Chicago. I've been all over the world. I don't give a fuck about them people. I could like
Yeah.
I wouldn't even remember a conversation we had. You know what I'm saying? But I do understand that for some people that be the battery in their back to not be the corny nigga or the ugly dude. But for me, I used to tell people I don't give a fuck what y'all say about me because y'all ain't gonna see me when we graduate. So it don't like feel how you feel, bro. You'll never see me again. Um, but yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. So is there anything you want to promote, anything you want to tell anybody about the show? Will What I'm gonna do is after it's over with, it'll be right there on YouTube if you want to share it on your platforms or whatever you want to do with it. I'm gonna cut it up, make it into a short. You can do that as well. It's whatever. But is there anything you want to say? Any last words?
Yeah, check out the Huber Knows Best podcast on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, whatever. Come to my page, Huber Knows Best. I'll be posting funny stories and talking shit. I'll be hosting a live. I'm trying to think if I want to do a live reaction or just a reaction to the Netflix version of Pop the Balloon that's coming out Thursday. And then, yeah, just look out for me. And if you want to collaborate, hit me up.
Already. Well, hey man, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. Hey, and anytime you want to chop it up, man, reach out. I'm here. Hey,
Appreciate you having me on your platform, bro. Thanks for asking.
no problem, man. We out.